reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit that charges you with lascivious behavior of the child, and I do find probable cause. I will appoint the office. Well, actually, this indicates that you don't qualify for the office of public defender. Sir, raise your right hand to be sworn in. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
For this affidavit that I'm looking at, it says that you have take-home pay of about $55,000 a year, correct?
Say that again?
It says you have take-home pay after taxes of about $55,000 a year.
That's the calculation I made for this year. Prior year, we were doing, because I'm self-employed, I was doing well, but based on finances, so it seemed this year.
All right, so you're in jail right now. Do you get any money while you're in jail from your job?
No, ma'am. What I do is
just yes or no?
Oh, okay. No, ma'am.
All right, and you have VA benefits of $2,500 a month that you're receiving?
Yes, ma'am. And 13 something for schooling, but that ends in when this semester ends, which should be end of this month.
All right, that's the $1,300 you're referring to?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, based on his verbal testimony, I will find that he's got debts of $10,000 and he's incarcerated. He's not earning the income currently. So I will find that he does qualify for the services of a court-appointed attorney, and I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent him. Thank you. With respect to the charge, sir, of brutal lascivious behavior or molestation, state wish to be heard. Is this? I don't think it's a dangerous crime.
That is correct. We would be motioning the court to help the defendant no bond at this time under Florida Statute 907-041 5D. We would be motioning for a pre-trial petition.
I'm going to deny your request. I'm going to step bond. Given what I'm reading in the probable cause charging affidavit. And I'm going to set bond, sir, in the sum of $7,500 with special condition that you have no contact whatsoever with a listed victim. That means no contact whatsoever. Directly or indirectly, you will not return to the scene of the offense. You'll maintain separate residences. In other words, you won't be living with the child. Do you understand that?
Roger that.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Your Honor, he's just requesting a one-time return with law enforcement to get his things.
I'll grant that, a one-time return.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Welcome to Jamaica Dancehall Source News and Entertainment with a Buzz. The video that you just saw is the actual court dates of CMR, Mr. Carter, in which he requested for bond. The prosecution, DA, said that he should not get any sorts of bond because of the severity of the crime based on some sorts of statute that she quoted from the Florida, meaning the state of Florida. However, based on what the judge saw in the paperwork, she thought that he was not a risk or a flight risk, meaning a risk to society or a flight risk. She put some stipulation that he never goes back to the place in which he lives. So that explains to us that more than likely, the person that is the victim is actually the stepdaughter of Chrissy. So therefore, all of the BS that we've been hearing on social media, all of these TikTok lowlives that act as if they are legal minds, act as if they know everything when they themselves are some self-righteous hypocrite that live worse life than anybody, do not know what they are talking about, and it was all propaganda, all sorts of mix-up and passa, because here it is, we see that he was given bail, 7,500 that was out there, he is out on bail, stipulation that he can go back under one circumstance, that he goes with the popo. He has the company of the popo, and then after that one instance, he should never step foot anywhere close to the premises or the kids or even the wife. So people that answer all the questions that we've been having. Is it a victim out of the house or is it a victim in the house? The answer to that is very simple. In the house. In-house problemo. Point blank and period.
People are careful how now buy Aki. Look on the Aki them where man have in the bag. God have a way where him a work him drop a while ago. None of the Aki them not open. The man have two bag full of clothes Aki.
Now we've all seen the very disturbing videos circulating with that lady, Rosie from Crab Circle. We've seen videos in which a lady that was selling farm product was seen pissing a bottle. And then we've seen a video with a lady working at the markets. Somebody videotaped her opening the akis that were not ripe or fit. You know that whenever you open any sorts of aki when it is not fit, the chemicals inside could poison you, could actually lead to somebody losing them life. Fast forward less than a day or so ago, that video that you saw at the start of this, with a man on some sorts of bicycle. Apparently, he went to a couple of persons' places and property and raided the barn, took out at least 2 crocus bag of akis. It seems as if none of those akis were ripe or fit. While he was riding, luckily the bag spill or 2 of the bags spill, and he was seen in the middle of the road, picking up these aki that were not open. Do you know that more than likely these aki is not for himself or his family? These aki he was going to ripen by force and he was going to sell on the street to John Public, that is you and I. And whenever you and I consume any sorts of product that is not properly prepared or properly ripened and have chemicals in it that is detrimental to our health, we could possibly lose our life, and even get badly sick. People, it is very sickening what is going on in Jamaica with these people that put money over everything, health and all. They do not care. Once they get that money to pay their bill or smoke some sorts of CRACK, does not matter if you lose your life or if you are badly hurt. Moral of the story, be very careful whatever you consume out there. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, based on the video that you just saw, apparently the JCF special operation was going on some sorts of seek and find mission. And they had to jump a couple of obstacles, a couple of hurdles, the fence that you just saw. The first young man looked as if he used to do hurdles in school, probably run at champs, 110-meter, 100-meter hurdles, or whatever the case is. However, it seems as if his partner, jeans was too tight, or probably he had knock knee, or probably both. He tried to jump that same fence, same height, same everything. However, it was an epic failure, an exercise in futility. Don't know if this man has any sort of athletic ability. Don't know if the wall suddenly rose above to what it was before, or he underestimated the wall and overestimated his ergo skill, trying to jump the fence literally. However, we saw exactly what happened. It was a failure. Now, JCF, this is my recommendation to you. Maybe this 6 months in the Power training school is not sufficient. Maybe you need to add an additional 6 months and make sure that they have some sorts of hurdles training, some sorts of obstacle training, or if and when they go on any sorts of mission. Please to make sure that there's some sorts of room in their jeans. And most importantly, they don't have any sorts of knock knee. And most importantly, they have some sorts of physical ability, because if the mission did not start and he almost broke his neck, we need to abort that mission and start, rewind and come again. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, we've seen videos of dancehall star Vice Cartel at the Mecca nightclub, in which he was coming out, and it seems as if he had a shortage of breath in the club, and he had to be rushed out of that club to his home, or outside where he could breathe properly. Now, one of the bad things about having that grave disease is that you need air, you need proper circulation, you need proper ventilation. And we know that Vice Cartel has been partying like a rock star since he was released out of the jail a couple of months ago. Well, people, there was also a next dance known as Red Bull Culture Clash that was held at the National Arena. And apparently, Vibes Cartel might have had too much to drink. He was kind of stumbling once again. Take a listen, take a look to exactly what that video footage looks like, and then I'll give my piece. Vice Cartel has stumbled out of the club. Vice Cartel has stumbled out of the club. Now, people, here's my views as it pertains to this. Don't know the circumstances. Did not do any sorts of breathalyzer tests. Don't know if he just actually slipped, lose his ground, and fell to the ground. But when we saw the persons rushing him out, maybe this is because of some sorts of security measure, so therefore they were tight marking him. However, what we saw and we put that together with what happened at the Mecca nightclub. It is not a very good look. It seems as if Vibes Cartel is overdoing it. It seems as if Vibes Cartel is partying too much and he needs to get a little bit more rest. Needs to be more sure footed like some sorts of mountain goats. And most importantly, he needs to stop drinking alcohol because it does not work with his grave disease. And we see the backlash or the repercussion. Don't know the circumstances why this happened. You can just walk out of a club and then you just fall, slip and fall, misstep or whatever the circumstances is or are. However, when we see it back to back, it is not a very good indication. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news. We've seen that there's been a whole bunch of infrastructure going on in Jamaica, specifically in St. Thomas, in which there was controversy. There was a Jamaican contractors that were building the roads, a whole bunch of delay, a whole bunch of money squandered. They eventually turn it over to Mr. Pickapow, the infrastructure people, and they begin doing the work on the road. Well, people, it seems as if those persons who are the epicenter of bootleggery did not use the proper material to make the proper infrastructure. And as soon as we got some rain, the deficiencies started to show, as in what we saw happening at the bridge. If you look, you could see that these are newly paved road on that same section in which the infrastructure or they were paving the road, widening the road, making it better for the commuters on a daily basis. But it seems as if they use cheap material. It seems as if Jamaica is not getting bang for the buck. It seems as if somebody was getting screwed, somebody was pocketing a whole bunch of money and giving us inferior product or inferior roads. Now, people, here's the thing, and this is nothing political because I know that you political sheeps like to come out and defend your prime minister because it seems as if you have some sorts of fishy tendency or you just hate the truth. Those sea are the sea, those waves been around from the beginning of time before those roads were even built. You have places all over the world, first world country, second world country, in which people build and like infrastructure and they do the right thing, put up the right barriers, the right type of material. So therefore, when the erosion or the eventuality, as in any sorts of storm or hurricane, any rise in the tide, they can withstand. Obviously, that was not the case in this case because that place only started building less than a couple of months ago And we saw exactly what happened. So therefore, if you don't have any sorts of sense, you will not learn from the mistakes that you make. This is obviously some sort of SHITTY job, and it showed very soon. Point blank and period.